Nip it in the bud. It's the perfect time to be transformed. I'm Mike Morrison with 2 minutes of insight and inspiration. Welcome to 2 Minute Transformation. Old Barney Fife had it right. Sometimes you just have to nip it. Sin is the enemy of transformation. Listen to what James, the brother of Jesus, had to say about it in James 1, verses 14 and 15. But each one is tempted when he is drawn away by his own desires and enticed. Then when desire has conceived, it gives birth to sin, and sin, when it is full grown, brings forth death. Can you sense the progressive nature of this disease? It starts with a selfish desire and it goes nowhere good. I was talking to a Christian guy a while back who stopped mid-sentence and commented on a young woman who had caught his eye. He enthusiastically mentioned that he thought that she was attractive, and I'll leave it at that. I gave him a pop on the shoulder and reminded him that he was married, to which he replied, "I may be on a diet, but I can still check out the menu." "Well," I said, "I'm sure David thought the same thing." He thought for a moment about that. You see, that's how it started for David. He's out on the balcony of his grand cedar estate and spies an attractive woman bathing. His desire is stimulated and he becomes enticed by the thought of having her. He sends his servant to fetch her. She says, "I'm married." He says, "But I'm the king," and thus desire is conceived and given birth to sin. Here's the tragic nature of sin. It never stops where you think it might end. She becomes pregnant and David's forced to try to cover it up, so he ends up seeing to it that her husband meets a tragic end, and now adultery has led to murder. It doesn't end there. The child she gives birth to dies shortly thereafter. Sin is never worth it. That quick peep, the seemingly harmless indulgence, or that habit that you can quit any time may be the very thing that is stifling your transformation. You don't have to be a slave to selfish desire. Take control and with God's help purpose to let faith conceive righteousness instead and be transformed.